It was a rough week for me with parenting. How do you get past it and move on and move forward? Look, parenting has its ups and downs, and most of the time it's pretty good. But this weekend was rough. With my kids, there was just a lot of defiance and disobedience. There were big emotions from my kids and from me. And I just had to put in some really severe consequences, like taking away their screens for the entire week and taking away the majority of their toys. And I was just really angry and in a bad mood the whole weekend. And it just got me to a really low point mentally. So, what do you do with that? It's okay to hate parenting. And I think it's really important to sometimes acknowledge that you can love your kids but hate parenting. I feel like there's this obligation among parents where you have to always say that, kids are wonderful, parenting is the greatest thing in the world, when sometimes it just sucks. And I think admitting it is really healthy. And I think when you approach bad parenting days, there are two extremes that can be really harmful. On one end, you can kind of deny it and bury it and just pretend like, okay, I shouldn't be angry at this and I should just, continue pushing through and thinking that parenting is awesome. And I think that just kind of creates a lot of unaddressed resentment that builds up over time. On the other extreme, you can totally dwell in it and think about it constantly and have it be on your mind. And then you kind of get into this mindset that, your kids are horrible, parenting is horrible, or you're just horrible. And you kind of think about it over and over again. It makes the situation even worse and kind of sets you up for failure in the future when another bad parenting incident happens. And what I've tried, and there's this really difficult balance of trying to, feel your emotions, recognize your emotions, and just acknowledge that, yeah, you're angry, you're upset. It was a horrible, day or a couple days of parenting. But then at the same time, let those emotions stay there and find a way to move on. You just acknowledge that it happened. It sucks. But let's try to make the next few days a little bit better. At least that's what I'm trying to do to move forward with my bad parenting days. What do you do when you have bad parenting days?